Hey there, and welcome to another Q&A video. Over the last couple of weeks I got a bunch of questions about this particular figure, the Han Solo figure by Night Models. I'll put up a link to the showcase video about here, I think. Yeah, a lot of people have been asking about the basing, how it was done, especially the small plants and the bushes. So I'd like to suggest that I'm going to move the camera to the basing, the assembly and basing desk, and we'll have a closer look again at the figure. I'll take a few other figures from my display cabinet to show you how I use certain basing materials, such as grasses, on the bases. And then we'll go over some materials I have on the desk, and I'll explain how I use them and how you can use them. Okay, welcome to the desk. Yeah, let's take another look at the figure. So basically there were two questions. I got a question from ZombiesRCoolPainting. He basically asked me twice about how I did the bushes, so the small bits of grass you see here, and also at the base of this plant. And then there was another question by igasigas, if I'm correct. He asked me about how I did these small plant things. So yeah, first things first, the bushes. Maybe I have another. No, I don't have it here. Let me get another figure to show you. So yeah, I just got this Games Workshop figure from my display cabinet. You'll also notice the bushes here and there. So how did I create them? Well, quite easy, in fact. It's a product you buy in this form. Yeah, I know a lot of manufacturers are also starting to experiment with this product. But the brand I like to use is that's from the packaging. It's a German brand. It's called Mini Natur. If you can get the stuff, buy it. It's the best. You can't really compare it. I know GW and Army Painter are also releasing a product like this, but it's much taller. The grass is much taller, and here you get a nice variety. And the clumps of grass, they're really small. So I think this is far superior to for example, the GW product and Army Painter ones. But on the other hand, you might want to buy the Army Painter ones because the grasses are taller. So a bit later I'll show you an example where I combine several basing materials, and I think the power in a natural looking base is combining several types of material. So usually I use this dried color, sand color of grass. Also have the green variety here. And then last year I think I bought. I think this is more comparable to the other brands I mentioned. It's also from a German manufacturer called Fredericus Rex. Yeah, larger clumps. Didn't have the chance yet to try them out, but yeah, definitely worth a look also. So how you apply this? It's actually quite easy to do. Yeah, just with a pair of tweezers, just look for a good looking clump, grab it at the base, tear it off, and then just add a small dab of super glue at the bottom and push it on the base. Just push it down, but make sure that the entire surface is glued down. That's basically it. To make it look more natural, I usually add pigments. If you like using pigments on your bases, the pigments will go where the root, let's say the root of the grass clump is. It will look very natural, or otherwise you can also dry brush the grass with a lighter color to make it look more interesting. So look out for these grass clumps. I think I bought these in a railroad modeling store or another type of store. In my experience, the really good stuff like this, you don't find it in gaming stores or similar stores. So look out for a railroad modeling store, a military modeling store, or go to an event where sellers are offering products like this. Okay, the second question was about these plant things. Nothing fancy, in fact. Found them in my own garden. These are grass seeds, so just picked them up. I think it was last year, late summer. Took them inside to dry a couple of weeks, and then this is the result. So also have another figure here on which I've used them. This is the red Karnak Droom by Rackham, the one that's shown in the Cool Mini or Not book. It's featured in the book. And here you can already see the thing I've mentioned about combining basing materials. Another example of combining materials is this Mantic Games elf. Again, sand with I think I just dry brushed this, the green on top. Then some turf again, some flocking here on the sides of the, again, piece of twig, and then a longer green grass here on the base. Yeah, as soon as I picked up the small bushes, as people call them, so this one, and the thing I just discussed, I quit using regular static grass. I have an old mini of mine here with static grass. For gaming, I think it looks okay. For scenery, I think it's a must. It's cheap to get a big bag or tub of this basing material, but yeah, it doesn't really look very convincing. If you want to achieve a convincing look with static grass, then yeah, just use super glue. Don't use PVA glue. Just use some small dabs of super glue, and then put on small amounts of static grass, and immediately blow sideways on the figure, so you'll make the grass stand up a bit. And that's what helps. So what I did here is really the large surface of static grass. It doesn't really look that good. And finally, one thing about painting using grass or something. This is what I call the Rackham way, the French way of basing. This grass is actually just painted sand. So painted it dark green and then started dry brushing lighter greens and yellows and then mixing in whites to achieve a highlight effect. I still think it looks very convincing and really down to scale, because this really isn't to scale. But this is, I think. So yeah. Okay, just snapped off the camera from the tripod to take a closer look to some of the basing materials I have here. This is these are the longer grasses, which I've shown on the Mantic Games. So it's also a very useful material. Usually, yeah, take 10 of these together with a pair of tweezers and glue them down on a dab of super glue. Usually I trim them down also because they're quite long. So there's a green, there's a reddish color, and then sand color also. These are some of the dried grasses I keep them in plastic bags all the time. So these are coarser grasses, never used them actually. This is the fine grass you've seen on the figures I've shown you. Don't look too far for good basing materials. Is my advice. Just go outside. If you don't have a garden, go to a park or something, or to a forest. This is moss, I think, also from my garden. These small seeds, small leaves. Over here, the stuff I showed you, the grasses. This is also these clumps are. I don't know if you can see it, it's better. These are small flowers. Never used them, but I like to have quite a set of basing materials at hand. So some more of these grass clumps. stuff I showed you, the smaller ones. This is some kind of miniature flower I bought a while ago on an event. Useful now and then. More moss. Some kind of twigs, I don't know what it is, or roots I think. Roots from weeds, very good material. And then roots and small twigs here. Yeah, I think that's about it. The natural basing materials I have. Oh yeah, and this is the collection of static grass. I don't use them that often. What I do use is this small, very fine, yeah, what do you call it? Fine turf or something, I think it's called, by Woodland Scenics. Very good stuff. It really allows you to create really the fine moss effect on the bases. And then of course you have the coarser material here to create moss or trees or something. So that's it. So yeah, my 2 pieces of advice to conclude this video is, first of all, go to your own garden, to a park, look for interesting basing materials such as grass seeds, twigs, whatever. Use these on your bases. Combine these. You'll get better effects if you combine basing materials, multiple basing materials on your base. And a second piece of advice is, if you have a railroad modeling store nearby, or a military modeling or scale modeling store, or you have the opportunity to visit a military scale modeling event or something, be on the lookout for good basing materials, because in my experience, gaming stores, they don't often have the best basing materials available. So okay, that's all for this Q&A video. I hope it was helpful. Thank you to the guys who asked the questions. If you have other questions, please do not hesitate to ask them. I'll always answer questions just by a regular reply, or if I like to go more in depth, I might create another Q&A video for it. Thanks for watching. Please like this video. If you think it's useful, it'll help me get more subscribers. And if you're not subscribed yet, please do so, because there's more interesting stuff coming up. Thanks. Bye.